Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure, heading to Lake Placid. Not the village, the actual Lake Placid. And if you're not familiar with the Lake Placid, when you come into Lake Placid Village, there is a lake next to the village that a lot of people mistakenly think that is Lake Placid, and it is not. That is Mirror Lake. Lake Placid is kind of to the west of the village of Lake Placid. It's a pretty good sized lake, and it's right at the base of Whiteface Mountain, surrounded by mountains, and we're going to go tackle that today. Hopefully the weather holds out. This is Lake Placid, just west of Lake Placid, New York. Straight ahead is Whiteface Mountain, and we are heading to Pulpit Rock. And once I get there, I have a little story. Made it out here on the Lake Placid. That mountain straight ahead is Whiteface Mountain, and this over here is the famous Pulpit Rock on Lake Placid. So that's Pulpit Rock behind me, and here's the story on this. In 1933, a lady named Mabel Smith Douglas went out for a paddle in a rowboat and was never heard of again. In 1962, I believe it was, or 63, a scuba diving crew from Lake Champlain was recreation diving on this lake. And they were over here by Pulpit Rock diving, and from what I understand, below me is about 105 feet deep. And while they were down there, they stumbled across the body. And when they brought the body to the surface, they got a hold of the sheriff's department and sent the body out for an autopsy, and it turned out to be a lady that disappeared in 1933. And the folklore of the area is that if you look on certain nights, you can see Mabel over here on this Pulpit Rock. If you happen to see anything over my shoulder that I haven't seen, you might want to let me know. But sitting out here in the water, I mean, it's not too bad out here. But the first thought that comes to my head sitting out here is that scene in that movie, I think it was Friday the 13th. Yeah, that scene. But that is that's the ghost story out here. The body was perfectly preserved because you can see that we are completely surrounded by mountains on this lake. So the temperature of this lake gets to be about 72 degrees, the surface temperature 72 degrees, but 105 feet down, I believe it stays a constant 35, 36 degrees. So the body was perfectly preserved for 30 years. So that is the ever so famous Pulpit Rock behind me. People do cliff jump off that into the water. And this is my first paddle of the season because we've had some massive high water this spring, and it's still a little high. But I'm gonna finish my paddle around Lake Placid. As you can see, there's a lot of million-dollar camps and homes on there. Imagine what the tax base is. Holy crap. But I believe back here there's an island called Moose Island. But there's Pulpit Rock. If you see Mabel up there, let me know. Welcome everybody. I'm at the base of Whiteface Mountain in Wilmington, New York. It's kind of a gloomy day. Has been raining, but this is where I'm staying for the weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend 2019, and this is the first trip I've been able to get out on. I've had some complications. A co-worker of mine, his wife had a massive heart attack, and sadly she passed away a couple weeks later, and so I've been covering for him at work. So this is my first time out. It was worth it. He needed the time off. So, but this is where I'm staying for the weekend, right here at the North Pole Resort Campground in Wilmington. I've been here before. It's not a bad place. So I decided to go for a hike and take a look to see what I can find. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to follow the adventure. Thanks for joining me.